How's it going, folks? Welcome back to the Average Garage. Now today, pretty excited because behind me I have my mother's car, the Colorado, but attached to the back of the Colorado is a car trailer. Car trailer means new project, so we're about to go pick it up and it should be pretty cool. So it's going to be a bit different to the usual stuff, but we're going to jump into it anyways. So let's do it. Ta-da! It's a beetle! How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Average Garage. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back. Now, this is my 1970 Volkswagen Type 1 Beetle. I picked this up pretty cheap off Facebook Marketplace and it is an absolute basket case, but it looks awesome. That's all I really cared about. So, we're going to fix this thing up. At the moment, it is unlicensed and not running. So what we're going to do is go through it all, fix what we need to fix, but I'm going to try and keep as much of this paint as I can because it looks absolutely epic. This is going to be a rat rod build. It's going to be very low budget, and we're going to try and do this as cheap as possible and as fast as possible. So it should be a pretty fun build. So if it sounds like it's up your alley and it's something you like or you enjoy, please be sure to stick around, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. There's going to be plenty of episodes to come, and I can tell you now, there's a few surprises along the way. So it needs a ton of work, which it will get done eventually. But for now, the plan for the short term is to get it on the road. So this thing's going to become a little bit of a rat rod. So pretty much bare work minimum, but there is some rust works that need to be done. So we're going to do some rust patches. We're going to put some stuff back together and fix some stuff. And pretty much each episode of this thing is going to be a little bit different. Right, so straight off the bat, this side is my favorite side because of the contrast and the colors. The makeup of Bondo, the original red that it once was, and the house paint teal that it is now. Somebody painted this thing with house paint, but whatever. This cool little air-cooled sticker in the Coke style font, I reckon that's awesome. It's just a bit more period correct sort of thing. This thing would have been awesome back in the day. I'm hoping I can make it awesome again now. So it's covered in cobwebs underneath, got to put it on the hoist, get rid of all them. At the back, we have the one panel of the car that is still one color, which that's going to change. I'm going to sand most of that off, hopefully bring it back to something closer to this. Yeah, it's got apparently a 1500cc engine. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it works. Well, apparently it works, but I don't know. We'll see. This side's not as cool because it's got primer on it, but again, it's going to be a rat rod. It doesn't really matter. So it's got a cool roof rack. Very 60s, 70s interior. Absolutely awesome. It's got leather seats, front and rear. But yeah, I can't wait to get into this thing. It's going to be awesome. Hopefully I don't come into a bunch of troubles, but we'll see. Anyways, let's chuck this thing on the hoist. I've got to figure out where the hell I can actually lift it from and see what it looks like. Right, let's start by getting the car up in the air. We're going to have a quick look underneath and I'm going to point out a few key things that I noticed while I was looking under it. So, as you can see, the valve cover is missing. Now, there is a lot more to this story than meets the eye right now, but we'll get into that into a later episode. But yeah, that kind of dicked me. A very leaky rear axle seal. Has 4x130 PCD wheels on it. Unsure what they're from. It's got disc brake fronts. It's got very dodgy floor repair. However, that's staying for now. Also, where the battery was, obviously when batteries leak, they corrode. These heater pipes, non-existent. Nothing of that apart from that pipe that I'm touching exists on the car. So first up, I've got to get a valve cover because without the valve cover, I can't make it run. And I want to make sure I can get it running properly and reliably. That's one of the biggest first steps. I've got a friend that's going to give me one. He's just gone away for the weekend, so I've got to wait till next week for that. But other than that, give it all a degrease, get it running. Pretty sure I've seen this heat shield for this side in the car, pretty sure. Obviously, bit of rust here, that big panel. But yeah, they'll all get done. No dramas. Now the plan is with this to make it as simple build as possible. So I know I've done a lot of talking in this episode already, and I apologize, but there will be plenty more to come as far as actual work getting done. Anyways, we've seen enough of under the car, so let's have a look at the trunk or the boot, the front boot, whatever you want to call it, and I'll show you what I mean by the inside of that. I have also noticed that both kick wells of the car have rusted out. That's something I'll have to fix as well. So we have a look up in here. There's a galvanized sheet that's actually just been riveted in. Riveting. There's also a plate just out here. I'm gonna have to pull that off, find out what's going on. So I'm gonna have to pull the guards off, and I think one of them's loose anyways, or two of them. The rear guards have also been welded together, which is kind of a pain in the ass, but that's all right. So that one also riveted on. So in one case, whoever had this car before the other guys, because they reckon they didn't get too much done to it, needs to buy a welder, but at the same time they also need to put the welder down, because if we have a look at the rear guards, they've actually welded the rear guards together. So there's supposed to be a seam that runs along here. You can see where that tech screw is. There's supposed to be a seam there, but they've welded it together. So I was feeling it before, right there. I can feel a little ridge, and it's a line of weld that goes the whole way up. So that sucks, but we'll make do. Anyways, I'm gonna get the shop vac out, and I'm gonna vacuum up all the spiders I can find under this thing and get rid of them. All right, so we've got the front of the car open now, or the boot, or the trunk, or whatever the hell you want to call it. It's at the front of the car, but it doesn't have an engine in it. But, got the boot, bonnet, whatever. But down here, there's a couple of rust holes. You can even poke your fingers through there, like that. So that needs some TLC. Got Adam in the shed, because he can be. Yeah, so we're gonna start getting into a bit of rust repairs. Hopefully this is still in the first episode, because I don't want to make it too boring. So we're going to take the fenders off and pretty much start pulling shit off until shit works. We'll see you then. All right, so we got the guard off, and yeah, this big plate right here that is pop riveted on is a very bad repair. So we're going to drill out all the pop rivets, find out what we're working with, and start cutting some sheet metal up. Right, so we've just been picking and poking and prodding and vacuuming and getting some grinding going on, and Adam's kicking shit. And we've got some holes that we've exposed, so as well as the big one, which you already knew about, that's easy to fix. And there's a little one down up in there. Either way, we've got to make a run to the parts store. We've got to go get some zinc primer and some other bits so we can make a start on this, because I must have used it all on Sleepy 6. So we're going to make a parts run, come back, we'll dig into it. Might be in the next episode, we'll see how we go. Either way, we'll see you shortly. Alright, it's starting to warm up in the shed, and we've just done a whole bunch of cutting, so I'm probably going to wrap this episode up for now, but we will dive back into it shortly and start and start putting some rust patch repair panels in. I'm probably going to be making a lot of it because I do want this to be a low budget build. A big old chunk cut out. So this is I'm going to replace with 1.6mm steel down the bottom here. I'm going to go a little bit further up under the door, wherever I can get to without cutting into the door. I'm actually going to brace this bottom door panel as well, up in there, because it's pretty weak and the other side has actually rusted that away, so the door drops a little bit. But yeah, we've got the majority of the rust cut out, so we're going to patch that. And then I've got to figure out how, but we're going to do some rust repairs in here. Don't know exactly how I'm going to get in there. It's going to be a bit difficult. But nevertheless, we will get it done and we'll make it survive a bit longer. So I plan for this thing to be back on the road, so that's what we're aiming for. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate everybody's love and support. Please don't forget to drop down in the comments below what you think I should do with this. It's going to be pretty much a rat rod, but if you have any suggestions as to what I should do or what I should change, drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. And please, if you've liked this and you want to see more, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and we'll see you all in the upcoming episodes. Cheers guys, peace.